I tell you a secret? I am at the headquarters of DNA Productions in Dallas, Texas. And I came here to find out how they made the ant bully. Come on, it's just over there. Hi. You've got long hair. Okay, listen, my friends and I are trying to get to the bottom of how the ant bully was made. Can you help us?
Well, I'll certainly try.
Wonderful. Please tell me who you are, and what you do here.
Well, my name is John Davis. I'm a human, I'm a biped, and I'm the director of the Ant Bully.
Oh, wow! I don't think I've ever met a biped before, and a director, too.
So the movie of the Ant Bully actually began with a book. I had been contacted by Tom Hanks and his company Playtone about the Ant Bully. The story, it's based on a children's book. And Tom used to read it to his young son, Truman, and was just reading it one night and said, hey, this will make a good movie.
Oh, Tom Hanks!
Why, yes.
He's a lot more famous than you are. Sorry, John.
One of the things that happens is that the children's book is, it's a picture book. It's only 2,000 words or so. And so there's a lot of fleshing out that has to be done in order to make it a feature film.
Oh, yes, I see.
Since there had been other CG films with bugs and ants, I thought, well, what could be different about this? If I was going to do it, what would I do? And I really wanted to explore more what ants are like.
Like everything in the colony, foraging is a team effort.
Ants live in a highly developed social order consisting of a queen, workers, soldiers, and young. Each member of the community has a job to do.
You know, ants could do things like they can lift 10 times their own weight.
Now, if a man were strong per pound as an ant is, he could carry a ton.
They can go vertically up walls.
The worker is a tireless laborer.
They actually use scent and odors as a form of communication.
Now, there's a couple exchanging some very good gossip, I suspect, telling tales out of school.
And also the idea that it's really the story of this boy's journey, a human journey into this place. And so it really became the story more than the fact that it had bugs or ants in it that really made me want to do it.
So what happens next?
I'm glad you asked.
2160, take 5.
Ow! Ow! The pain! The pain! Huh, it's unbearable. Just put me out of my misery.
What do they teach you in school anyway?
And stop staring at my antenna.
That's it.
That's it. Good.
Everything starts with voice recording. Voices drive the whole animation process. So once we have a script, we have to get voices recorded.
See these? See these? Airflow. Aliens hate airflow. Drives them nuts.
First starting out, you know, you have your wish list together, and then to actually, get most of your wish lists is pretty incredible.
That's a relief.
It's kind of a who's cast, actually. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I think Julia was the first one that signed on.
Hi!
You guys got Julia Roberts?
Well, yes.
She is so pretty. Do you think she'd go on a date with a beetle?
You might be a little short. I was really excited to get Nick Cage cast. He's always been one of my favorite actors.
Really?
And he has such a sense of fun with an angsty character, an angsty role.
Thank you.
And I knew that Zoc needed that. Lily Tomlin came on as the voice of Mamo, which is, Mamo is actually the name of my grandmother.
They try to cut the power in the middle of the night. Beep, 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 beep. These babies will wake me up.
So I was trying to cast somebody to play essentially my grandmother in terms of her wackiness. My grandmother's a little wacky.
Stan Beals is the name.
Paul Giamatti was, I thought, perfect as the exterminator. He had such a great time in that role.
Oh, brother, those were good times. Good times!
Meryl Streep is the queen.
Rokai, the ant.
The queen is such an exotic, powerful image in the movie. And Regina King as Creel is great.
Peanut, the destroyer. I had to move out of my nest because of you.
Did I call on you? Who invited Captain Party Pooper?
Bruce Campbell, he's such an animated character, and he's the best screamer I've ever seen. Best male screamer I've ever seen, and really funny.
I'll never forget the day I had amnesia. It was an overcast day.
Zach plays Lucas.
Earth to Ant Lady. You were right in the middle of sounding like my mom.
Good, really good, Zach. Great stuff. And his parents, Sherry O'Terry plays Lucas's mom.
Maybe we shouldn't go on vacation.
And Larry Miller plays Fred, Lucas's dad. And for some reason, in most of my films, the dads are always the goofballs.
You're going to Puerto Vallarta.
That's my dad. I mean, that's all I saw.
Well, those were different times.
Sorry, Dad. But
John, I think some of the ants you cast in the movie, they weren't very convincing. I'm sure I could do a better job.
Yeah, it's interesting because they're not on set. They're in a little booth behind a mic, you know? So it's a little unusual for them.
The pain, I'm completely out of sync.
Okay, okay.
Oh, man.
I thought somebody else was gonna be saying that.
Oh, people could see this. This is really...
Oh, that is so great! So what happens next?
Well, let's find out.
Is there ice cream?
Well,
There's ice cream, isn't there?
certainly.
Oh, yeah, baby!
Let me out! Let me out! I don't want to be a toadstool!
A toadstool! That's great!
You like that?
That's very funny!
Well, there's plenty more where that came from, pal.
I like that. Hi! What's your name?
Once we got all of our voices recorded and edited in, then the animation process can start, and the animators always animate to the vocal tracks. The character's vocal performance drives everything.
What a great idea!
Animated films take a long time to make, and a lot of talented people to make them because nothing exists. You can't point a camera at anything. So you take a lot of artists to start designing what this world is. Every blade of grass has to be designed and approved and painted and textured, and you just extrapolate from there. Once we have voices recorded and we start storyboarding and you start dissecting your script down into scenes and you start giving different scenes to different storyboard artists, then it becomes a back and forth process of visualizing how you're gonna play the scene.
Wait! I think I'm totally baffled!
I don't blame you. I know just the person to explain that.
Hi, we're going to take you through the storyboard process here at DNA. What we have here is a sequence that we take from the script and we're going to turn it into pictures from words. Here we go. Start well in the kitchen here. Creela's busy looking at a phone. Lucas is jumping across the phone. Beep, 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 beep. Background, Fugax runs past, pushing a jelly bean. What is he doing? Jumping, you know. Hippity hop, hoppity down. It's a scout thing, you wouldn't know. Boom! The ants there. They hit. They run away. Ah, Lucas! Lucas! They're just, okay, Mamo, let's go find your other teeth. Oh, Lucas.
After the storyboarding, you start working on an animatic to do kind of a hand-drawn version of the whole movie in sketch form.
Hello, how are you? Pizza Kingdom, hail to the king. Would you like to try our new Princess Pepperoni with tangy jester sauce?
Then when you get things to where you think, hey, okay, we're on the right path here, the story's working, this is where we want to go, then you can start fleshing it out, bring on the animation team, bring on, you know, the 250 people it's going to take to actually make this thing real.
Let me out! Let me out! I don't want to be a toadstool!
A toadstool! That's great!
You like that?
That's very funny!
Well, there's plenty more where that came from, pal.
I like that. Hi! What's your name?
During the whole process, we have concept artists that are concepting early on, but now we have to get very specific so that the modeling team knows exactly how to build this stuff. The modeling departments are split in two, where you have some that are focused on the characters, and then the other team is devoted to all your sets and props and things.
Is this the same thing as runway modeling? You know, John, I can walk with a book balanced on my head for 3 seconds. You can count them if you want.
My name's Todd Fechter, and I'm the set supervisor on the Ant Bully. And we have a team of 7 modelers, and we built all of the sets that the ants are going to be in throughout the movie. We'll get drawings similar to these, and we'll take these designs and we have to actually build all the pieces in the computer. Just like a real set, we can move everything around. The director can get any kind of shot he wants.
Nice.
My name's Tom Jordan.
I'm the cast modeling supervisor for Ant Bully. And basically what we do is we take the designs for the character and model that design in 3D.
They created me? Like Frankenstein! Ah, I'm freaking out! Oh, I love that!
And then once you have like a character, for example, it has to go to the rigging team.
My name is Michael Comet, and I'm the character rigging supervisor for the Ant Bully. And we literally go in and we kind of take and we set up bones and muscles and joints and things like that to actually make the characters move around.
You can kind of think of it like a puppet. The character riggers will attach all the strings that then later the puppeteers, like the animators, can grab onto and use to create a performance with.
Oh, I like animators! They play with puppets!
Hey, Chris, what you got?
We have Lucas bouncing around on the
phone jumping action.
Phone, yeah.
Before you can actually animate, even though you have your character, the whole film has to somehow translate from that 2D world of sketches that we've been working with to the 3D world.
Hi, what's your name?
And that's when the layout department comes into play.
Hi, I'm Chris Sherrod at DNA Productions. I'm in the layout department.
Basically, we're taking the storyboards and the 2D drawn elements and turning it into a 3D movie.
They'll look at those storyboard sketches and say, oh, okay, look, we're gonna need these characters, these props, and they'll put it together in a scene, line it up to where it looks close to the boards. They'll get all that plotted out before it goes into the animation department.
Let me out! Let me out! I don't want to be a toadstool!
A toadstool! That's great!
You like that?
That's very funny!
Well, there's plenty more where that came from, pal.
I like that. Hi, what's your name?
Let's see, we're getting closer to the animation area, and yes, we are now in the animation area. The animation floor is pretty fun. There are all these actors who are, you know, I think they're afraid to get up in front of a camera, so they became animators, you know. When the animators have had a long day and it's time to rest, they rest at the Memorial 70s Lounge here in the middle of the animation department. They kick back, listen to tunes, and have nice chats about animation and what it means to them. And they've got their acting room, and they've got their puppet shows, and they've got all their pods decked out. Here's the Camp Puhala. Camp Puhala, as you can actually see, is the second place winner in the pod contest here. There's one that's set up like a pirate area with cannons and stone walls. But hey, you know what? Whatever makes them happy, you know. Because they work hard, they're here all the time, and whatever sort of, you know, helps their muse and helps them, you know, connect with the character.
John, you're not using beetle labor, are you?
Well, that gets a bit complicated.
Well.
My name is Sarah Mansinga, and I'm an animator on Ant Bully. We basically take the dialogue from the actor and we bring the characters to life. So we make them move and interact with each other.
Hi, what's your name?
The last stage is when everything finally gets into the lighting department.
Ha! At last, the final ingredient.
Let me out! Let me out! I don't want to be a toadstool!
A toadstool! That's great!
You like that?
That's very funny!
Well, there's plenty more where that came from, pal.
I like that. Hi, what's your name?
My name's Ian McGibbon. I'm the lighting director. And what lighting does is it takes all of the work from the rest of production, ties it together, and through the use of light, through the use of color, we create the final image. When a shot comes to us, it comes to us looking pretty much like this, whereas this looks like a flatly lit, almost daytime-looking shot. And you can see the significant difference that lighting makes on this shot.
And then suddenly, whammo, there it is. That's the final product. And it's very exciting to see it come together.
I couldn't help noticing that you have a lot of people working here. And it looks to me like your employment practices discriminate against beetles. Do I need to make a phone call, John?
You're not a dung beetle, are you? That's looking awesome. Very cool, looks good.
Oh, thank you.
Keep it going.
Oh, thank you.
One of my jobs as director is to constantly go through daily sessions with all the departments and approve all the latest material to come out of the department that day. So typically, every morning there's animation dailies, and I'll sit and watch them with the animators that were working on that sequence, and we'll review the shots, and I'll give comment upon if it's the correct performance, how I want to change the performance, what it is I'm trying to get out of the character. So after animation dailies, I've got layout dailies where I'll go and I'll review the layout for scenes, go into texture approvals, just a myriad of steps. It's a fun collaborative process, and I like to take advantage of the fact that I've got 250 brains out there. So, you know, there are times when even if I'm writing, I'll go, you know, what's a word for this, or what's a, I'm gonna send an email to 250 people, you know, because hey, they're right there. That's your brain trust, and it's fun. It's fun to be collaborative, you know, like that.
Yay! That was great! Isn't that wonderful?
Yay. And that's pretty much the story of how we created the Ant Bully.
Well, I can't thank you enough, John. That was very interesting. I don't really understand any of it.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You'd be surprised at what you can do if you just put your mind to it and use a little imagination.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Beetle.
No. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Beetle.
John, what are you doing now? Can I come with you?